Coming up on Good Morning Longhorns, breaking down last week's election results, from the White House to Austin City Hall and what it all means.
The Longhorns defeated the Florida Gators, taking home another win at DKR. What you can expect for the rest of the season as the college football playoff draws closer.
First SEC title, Texas soccer beat South Carolina to win the conference championship. More on the historic win.
Plus, we're talking exclusively with Rock Hall of Famer John Oates as he brings his blend of rock and soul to Austin. You won't want to miss it.
And finally, Starbucks holiday drinks are here. But how can you make your own version of these specials we wait all year long for? We'll show you how. All of this and more right here, right now on Good Morning Longhorns. This Wednesday, November 13th, I'm Paulina Pearson.
And I'm Ella Danina. Thank you for joining us this morning. How are you?
I'm good. A little tired this morning and all of my final projects are picking up, but what about you?
I'm good, but your coffee segment will wake you up.
I'm very excited. Well, kicking things off this morning, we're back for the first time since former President Donald Trump won the presidency. President-elect Trump won 312 electoral votes to Vice President Kamala Harris's 226. The race ultimately came down to 7 swing states, which Trump swept.
Republicans also took back the majority in the Senate by gaining 4 seats and are on the brink of maintaining control of the House. Trump made gains across the board, but particularly with Hispanic voters and young men.
Back to the presidential transition of power, President Biden and President-elect Trump will meet in the Oval Office today. It's customary for the current president to meet with the president-elect, representing a peaceful transition of power. Such a meeting did not occur in 2020 when then-President Trump refused to concede. Both President Biden and Vice President Harris have congratulated Trump on his victory.
However, Melania Trump will not be in attendance at the White House today. It's customary for the First Ladies to have a tea, as Michelle Obama did with Mrs. Trump in 2016. Melania did not meet with Joe Biden in 2020.
President-elect Donald Trump has hit the ground running with rapid cabinet appointments, including longtime advisor Susie Wiles as Chief of Staff, making her the first female to hold the position in U.S. history.
Additionally, New York Congressman Lee Zeldin has been appointed to run the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. Other names include Governor Kristi Noem to serve as Homeland Security Secretary, Marco Rubio to be Secretary of State, and John Ratcliffe to head the CIA. Last night, he named Fox News host Pete Hegseth to Defense Secretary. The president-elect is expected to announce more additions to his administration in the next couple of days. The Republican Party squashed any murmurs of Texas being a swing state, as the Lone Star State remained decisively red. Trump more than doubled his lead from 2020 while flipping multiple South Texas counties that previously voted for Biden.
Several Texas Republicans took to X to congratulate Trump, including Governor Greg Abbott. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton and Agricultural Commissioner Sid Miller were even seen at Trump's Mar-a-Lago watch party. Texas Democratic Party Chair Gilberto Hinojosa announced Friday he would be resigning from his position come March, ending his 12-year run leading the party. He's just halfway through his current 4-year term.
In his announcement, Hinojosa said, quote, "It is imperative that our Democratic leaders across the country reevaluate what is best for our party and embrace the next generation of leaders to take us through the next 4 years of Trump and win back seats up and down the ballot." Along with the national election results, there are key results from several local races as well, including some we're still waiting on.
For more on the counting that's still going on here in Austin, we're joined in studio by our Lauren Peck. Good morning, Lauren.
That's right, guys. For District Attorney incumbent Jose Garza won re-election against Republican Daniel Betts. Garza faced some challenges and national attention during March's Democratic primary when billionaire Elon Musk spent $650,000 to block Garza's re-election, saying he was, quote, filling the streets with pedophiles and killers. Despite this, Garza won the DA ballot with 67% of the vote. Additionally, Travis County is likely to become the first county in Texas to help low-income families pay for child care with the passing of Proposition A. Nearly 60% of voters supported this measure, which calls for a 2.5-cent property tax increase. Additional child care services are expected to launch in late 2025. Interestingly, though, is what is taking place with the Austin mayoral election. Now, incumbent Kirk Watson was running against 4 other other candidates, but that race is still too close to call officially. Watson currently has 50.01% of the vote, but outstanding mail-in and provisional ballots could send him into a runoff with second-place candidate Carmen Yánez-Pulido. Here's what Watson and Yánez-Pulido are saying about a possible runoff.
It's not over until it's over, and it's not quite over. We're obviously hopeful that the final tally will keep us on top of 50%, but if it turns out we have a runoff race, you can be sure that we're 100% ready to go, Kirk Watson wrote in a statement. Carmen Yánez-Pulido wrote, "The race remains incredibly close, with the incumbent avoiding a runoff with just a few dozen votes, and thousands of ballots still awaiting analysis. Official results haven't been declared, and a runoff is still very much on the table."
According to the Texas Secretary of State's election calendar, these results must be posted no later than November 19th. So hopefully we'll get an answer by next week. Back to you.
Thanks, Lauren. While America watched in anticipation awaiting the results of the presidential election and other major races, journalists were racing to update them with the latest information.
TSTV News caught a glimpse of what Election Day looked like for two student journalists here at UT.
I was covering for the Texan. We started off in the basement at like 5, 6-ish, where we made slime, kind of like decompressed before it got hectic.
I was reporting and covering a election watch party at Victory Lap, a campus bar a couple blocks away from here. So I was basically working the entire night.
Then they sent us, the photographers, to the different watch parties. Like I went to DMC for Pizza and Politics, and I was taking photos there.
It was sort of exhausting. I wouldn't say that I would do election reporting ever again personally, but it was definitely a great learning experience.
Following the election, a demonstration on Texas State's University campus drew a crowd of counter-protesters last Wednesday. Two men unaffiliated with the university held up sexist and homophobic signs. They read, quote, "Women are property," and quote, "homosex is sin," end quote.
The two individuals were escorted off campus after an hour, but after a large group of students and faculty gathered in the quad in response. In a statement, University President Kelly Damphouse said the individuals were allowed to demonstrate on campus under Texas law, but condemned their, quote, "hateful words."
Also following the election, black college students in several states, including Texas, have reported receiving racist texts. These anonymous messages say they've, quote, "been selected to pick cotton at the nearest plantation," end quote.
These texts have been sent out from numbers with over 25 different area codes. Authorities have not been able to determine where the texts originated from, and the FBI is now investigating.
Texas A&M has announced it's disbanding, quote, "low-producing minors and certificates." Among the 52 eliminated programs is the LGBTQ+ studies minor. Faculty argued that the board used inaccurate information to make their decision, and University President Mark Welsh requested that the regents gather more input before making this decision.
These concerns were ignored. Some other disbanded minors and certificates include aerospace engineering, performing social activism, and global art design.
And back here in Austin, the Texas Book Festival is back for its 29th year this weekend. The festival draws in 40,000 book lovers and will feature more than 250 authors. Events are hosted in and around the state capitol with guests including Matthew McConaughey, author and journalist Malcolm Gladwell, historian H.W. Brands, and even The Bachelorette's Hannah Brown. The festival will also host various food trucks, book signings, and cooking demonstrations. There are some ticketed sessions, but most of the events are free.
It's almost the most wonderful time of the year, and you can join other students next Tuesday for the kickoff of the Longhorn Lights. The ceremony will include the Longhorn Band, holiday music, and over 400,000 burnt orange and white lights. That's over 9 miles total of lights.
The light show, a tradition that began last winter, consists of the 24 oak trees that line the drag, as well as a synchronized light show with holiday music. Longhorn Lights will continue every night from 5 to 10 p.m. through January 1st. Next week's ceremony is open to the public. And UT Semesterly Ring Celebration is happening this Friday. The event will be held on the main mall in front of the UT Tower. If you are receiving your class ring on Friday, be sure to have signed up for a ring pickup time between 2 and 4 p.m.
A valid student ID or driver's license is required to pick up your ring. Additionally, invite your loved ones to join you for the ring celebration program starting at 4:30. Business casual attire is encouraged, and remember to take lots of photos with your new bling.
After the break, an update on the historic flooding in Spain. And it might say Thanksgiving break is around the corner on your calendar, but it's still feeling quite mild in Austin. Your full local forecast is next. Welcome back. At least 215 people have died due to a series of flash floods along Spain's Mediterranean coast. Since cycles of heavy rain began in early November, Spanish civilians have been cut off from drinkable water, power, and other resources.
Thousands of soldiers and police officers have been deployed for search and rescue efforts. Some Spaniards have expressed frustration with Spain's meteorological agency, arguing that some regions did not issue warnings far enough in advance. Joining us on set to tell us what's happening back here locally is Audrey Itz. Good morning, Audrey.
Thank you. We have another beautiful week ahead of us. The rest of this week is going to be nice and sunny, with clouds coming in on Sunday through the rest of next week. Today we'll have a high of 86 degrees and a low of 51 degrees. Temperatures will dip more as we head into the rest of the week. Thursday and Friday will be a high of 78 degrees with a low on Thursday of 45 degrees and a low of 52 degrees Friday. This weekend we'll have a high of 83 and a low of 65 both days. Make sure you're taking advantage of the sunny weather, as the sun is now setting at around 5:30 every night due to daylight savings time. That's all from the Weather Center this week. I'm Audrey Itz. Back to you.
Thanks, Audrey. In sports now, the Longhorns crushed the Florida Gators 49-17 on Saturday. Quinn Ewers passed for 333 yards and 5 touchdowns. He connected with receivers like Matthew Golden and Isaiah Bond.
These touchdowns were a career high for Ewers and just one shy of a school record. Texas defense had 2 interceptions and only let the Gators score in the second half. This Saturday, the Longhorns face Arkansas on the road at 11 a.m.
It was a big weekend overall in college football with possible playoff implications. Previously undefeated Miami lost to unranked Georgia Tech, making them drop to 12 in the AP poll. Georgia fell to Ole Miss, taking them to the 11th spot. As of now, the SEC championship is looking like it'll be Texas against Tennessee, but things can always change.
With the shift in the rankings, the current top 5 is as follows: Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, Penn State, and Indiana, a team that is 10-0 for the first time in program history. We will have to see what happens in the last few weeks of regular season play.
You may have noticed a fan favorite furry friend missing from College Game Day this weekend. ESPN college football analyst Kirk Herberstray announced on Thursday that his golden retriever Ben died at the age of 10 from cancer.
The dog had become college football's unofficial mascot, as fans have seen him on the field and on the college game day big screen every week. When they visited Austin for the Georgia game, Ben even met Bevo from a distance. Here's a clip from the sweet tribute ESPN aired this weekend.
Ben didn't care who you were. Everyone deserved his love. I think we can all learn from that. At a time when everything seems to be aimed at dividing us, our love of football unites us every weekend. What I experienced with Ben was that, and so much more. Dogs' only flaw as a species is they don't live long enough, but the warmth they give us, that never goes away.
This is so sad. He was such a cute dog.
I know, when he came to UT, I was like, wait, this is literally adorable. I literally sobbed watching that tribute video.
No,
like,
I did too. It was so heartfelt, and you could tell how close they were.
I know. And you said his new dog, or not new dog, I guess his other dog is now
dog.
joining him.
Yeah,
Oh
he's bringing him on set now, so that's fun.
That's so cute. Now moving on to a different field, the soccer field. Women's soccer has become the first UT program to win an SEC championship. As a number 3 seed, the team faced off against the South Carolina Gamecocks this Sunday.
In the second half, sophomore Carly Montgomery gave the team its winning goal. The final score was 1-0. A great start to the Longhorns' first year in the SEC. Switching gears, the Texas basketball season kicked off last week. The team currently stands at 1-1 following a loss against Ohio State and a win against Houston Christian. Freshman Trey Johnson is bringing new life to the team as he broke Kevin Durant's Texas freshman debut record with 29 points against the Buckeyes.
There are still familiar faces this year like Chindle Weaver and Devin Pryor. Texas is currently unranked in basketball, but it's still so early in the season. The Longhorns face Mississippi Valley State Saturday at 4 p.m. People across the world are asking a question that Americans, particularly parents, agonize over. Should teens have social media? Australian government officials announced last week that they plan to pass a law that will ban social media for kids under 16.
Some are concerned that the age limit will not be effective as social media sites will not implement the policy. But others support the regulation, claiming that it will help protect a new generation from early exposure to harmful content. The legislation will be introduced in Parliament next week, and if approved, will be passed in the next year. What do you think about this?
Honestly, we were trying to think of maybe like when we got social media, and I feel like 16 is kind of too old. Like I could see like maybe 13 or 14.
16, if you can drive.
Right, if you can drive, you should have social media.
Right.
I don't know. Well, as 2020 comes to an end, Collins Dictionary is looking back at the most buzzworthy words of the year, and the verdict is on the official word of the year, brat. The popularity of the word brat comes from Charlie XCX's summer album. It then, of course, became a big part of Vice President Harris's campaign.
Collins Dictionary defines brat as someone, quote, characterized by a confident, independent, and hedonistic attitude, end quote. Some other words on the short list include delulu, anti-tourism, and yapping. After the break, we'll tell all of the two-stepping lovers how the Broken Spoke is celebrating their 60th anniversary. This and other entertainment stories coming your way. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back. One of Austin's most iconic dance halls, the Broken Spoke, is celebrating its 60th birthday. Locals can prepare to celebrate with live performances at the historic establishment all month long. One student says she loves its nostalgic feel.
I love the Broken Spoke. It feels almost like you're going back in time to a place that is just much happier, and everyone's dancing, everyone's singing along to the music, and even if you don't know how to dance, there are people there that'll spin you around and make you feel like the belle of the ball. I really love the Broken Spoke.
He's a rock and roll Hall of Famer who just performed at Austin's Antone's on Monday night. John Oates, known as one half of the Hall, and Oates Duo, has since embarked on his own solo journey.
Ahead of his performance, our Emmy Adams spoke with the songwriter about how his career has evolved, the inspiration behind his new single, Mending, and how he deals with burnout.
Well, I've been a musician my whole life. It's the only thing I've ever identified myself with, and it's the only thing I've ever really done. Since I've stopped working with Daryl Hall, after touring and being involved in that partnership for over 50 years, I felt like I have a kind of a new path forward. The fact that I can still sing and play and still write songs and feel really kind of, pretty solid. I take every day as a gift.
At Monday's show, he transfixed the audience with stories from his past, playing a blend of his original solo songs, covers that have inspired his own music, and a few Hall & Oates hits. You can stream Oates' newest single, Mending, today. The Grammy nominations are officially here. Beyoncé leads with 11 nominations for Cowboy Carter, making her the most nominated artist in history with 99 total nominations.
Other nominees include Taylor Swift, Troye Sivan, Chappell Roan, and Sabrina Carpenter. The Grammys are Sunday, February 2nd. There's a new experience for all, the Harry Potter fans in Austin. The interactive walking trail immerses guests into the Forbidden Forest, allowing them to take part in the wizarding world of Harry Potter. The excursion features activities allowing guests to cast spells, illuminate Forbidden Forest scenes, and view magical creatures throughout the park.
Beginning now until the end of December, the event is open each evening at the McKinney Ruffs Nature Park. Tickets are available online. I'm definitely going to that. Nearly 2 decades after being stolen, a pair of ruby slippers from the original Wizard of Oz are up for auction in Dallas. Bidding has begun online and will continue through December 7th.
Heritage Auctions received the slippers from memorabilia collector Michael Shaw, the original owner of the shoes who loaned them to the Judy Garland Museum, where they were later stolen. The auction also includes other items from the Wizard of Oz, including a hat worn by Margaret Hamilton as the Wicked Witch of the West. You can visit ha.com to keep up with the bidding.
And on Monday, students had the chance to watch the upcoming blockbuster Wicked before general audiences. In partnership with University Showtime and UT Universal Pictures, Wicked, the film adaptation of the Broadway smash hit, is screening 2 weeks before its release date.
Hundreds of students lined up, though not everyone was let in due to the auditorium's capacity of a little under 400 seats. Students we spoke with said they were very excited for the advanced screening.
This crowd looks really like it would be a super fun crowd, and we're seeing it 11 days early. That's not something a lot of people get to do.
I'm excited. I've been looking forward to this movie so long, and then the fact that I'm able to screen it ahead of time, best thing ever.
In the past, this partnership has brought students early access to other films such as The Fall Guy and Five Nights at Freddy's.
Get ready for an exciting evening of vocal harmony and talent at UT's Acapella Palooza, happening on Sunday at 6:20 in the WCP Auditorium.
It'll showcase some of the best a cappella groups on campus. These include the Ransom Notes, Hum, Voice of Africa, Absolute Pitch, Beauties in the Beat, Resound, Fuse, and Noteworthy. Admission is free and doors open at 6 p.m. When we come back, we'll show you how to create a delicious Starbucks holiday drink. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Good Morning Longhorns. As you may already know, Starbucks came out with their annual holiday drinks last Thursday. Notable mentions include the sugar cookie latte, peppermint mocha, and the caramel brulee latte. Today, Paulina will show Lauren and I how to make our own holiday drinks at home for less.
Yes, at this point, my expertise is coffee drinks, so I came prepared with 3 different concoctions you can make right at home. We'll be doing cold brew with 3 different cold foams. So first, we're going to have the caramel brulee dupe latte, which I guess is like kind of more of a cold brew, and that will have almond milk caramel creamer and cinnamon powder. And so we're just going to get started with that one. So I believe right here, nope, this is the caramel. I put it in a special thing. Oh yeah. So we're gonna just do some of the creamer, and I'm gonna do like 3, if that makes sense. So like 1 and 1, and then we're gonna add some cinnamon powder. I just get it from like literally any grocery store.
And what flavor creamer is this?
This is going to be the caramel one, so this is kind of like the caramel brulee cold foam. And then we're going to add some extra creamy oat milk just to give it that little, oh, if I can get this open, it's a twist. Just to make it a little bit creamier. So yeah, this is also like a non-dairy option if that upsets your stomach or if you can't drink dairy.
What are y'all's favorite holiday drinks?
Ooh. That's a good question. I'm just going to froth this up with a little frother.
Anything peppermint.
Yeah.
Peppermint mocha.
Yeah.
Okay, I tried to find peppermint creamer for this, and it was sold out everywhere already.
See, everyone
I went to
loves
3
it.
stores the other day
Yeah.
trying to find it.
No, it's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
Ideally, I'd be frothing it for a little bit longer because it is still kind of milky, but it's okay. All right. Well, okay, we're going to have to pour all of it in there. All right. So next, we're going to pay a tribute to the toasted white mocha that was discontinued this year. It'll be a cold brew with white mocha cold foam. Sorry. Okay. So now we'll just be.
Mocha.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Sorry, you'll be getting like a little bit of the residue. All right.
Well, I'm sorry, that's all the time that we have. But for all the Good Morning Longhorns, you can check us out on Instagram at Good Morning Longhorns. I'm Ella Didion, and thank you for joining us.
Cheers.